shoot that one before or after this one?
We shot it before, but I knew we were going to run into this one, so I was waiting for Ben to finish MIDI, and Greta and I had another script, and I thought, well, let's just do this, let's shoot it knowing we won't finish it, and then we'll make another movie and then I'll finish.
And did you shoot them in similar styles? Because, I mean, from what I read about Francis, it was shot very kind of guerrilla style in a way, and this looks like a very polished film.
I mean, it was done in a similar but different setup to Francis, but I would say it's a different look than Francis. Francis was sort of designed to be the look that it is, that kind of black and white, sort of older feeling movie, and I think Mistress America feels, in some ways probably visually feels more like While We're Young.
All right, who else has a hand up?
So I have a question. How much was the dialogue improvised or actually scripted?
It was all scripted.
All right, who's next?
In the beginning, Ben Stiller's character quotes Godard, and he gives him credit, but later Adam Driver's character quotes Oscar Wilde. He says, "Be yourself, everyone else is taken." That's an Oscar Wilde line, but he doesn't give him credit. Is that in there to show like how millennials just sort of take things and pop them off of their own? Did that sound mean?
I actually got that line from a t-shirt I saw.
It's like, it's Oscar Wilde? What? Hey, whoever asks the next question, please stand because it's very strange. It's like these disembodied voices.
Yeah. Answer the question.
I'm over here. Right. Pink coat, right. One, hurt people from Greenberg is a beautiful line that I've used many times for people, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. My question is...
Also from a t-shirt.
Yeah. That's a great t-shirt store you're getting this from. The camera that Jamie was using when he was filming, are you ever gonna compile all of those that film to make a mini film?
The problem with a lot of that footage is the whole crew is in it. You know? I actually did go through a lot of it in post because I thought, and you see a little of it, you see like the red carpet. Unfortunately, because you know the camera's on the other side, you're looking at, you know, you lose the illusion. Does that make sense? Yeah.
One of the lines I loved, by the way, was when he's listening to Eye of the Tiger and says, "I remember when this was just bad." Which I felt about the Lionel Richie, too.
I did, too, actually, with the Lionel Richie, and I have to say, we were wrong, because it is great, and I heard it again, because all these DJs started playing it at events I was at, and I was just like, this song's great, and we, you know, we suffered through that whole time.
Because we had to look at the videos.
Yeah, the Hello video and stuff, but I'm actually now coming out just pro the whole deal. I just Can't Slow Down record, the whole thing. So many people have given me that record now as a present too. I have a lot of, like 4 vinyls of it now. But I really do think that song is kind of amazing.
I saw Rappin' Rodney in the collection too.
Yes.
That's from your personal favorite.
I did actually place that. I'm glad you noticed that.
Rodney Dangerfield, Rappin' Rodney.
Rappin' Rodney. I saw the Rappin' Rodney tour actually at Radio City, and I was in the worst seat you could. I was in the farthest up part with my back to the wall at Radio City, and then he just played the video. I honestly thought he would perform it. But
he didn't rap it?
No, he didn't rap it.
That's messed up, man. Yeah. Who's next?
Over here, like here, right, I guess.
just sort of address an earlier question that like referenced millennials. I'm 20, and this movie like made me very aware of who I am as like a person in society viewed by older people, because I feel like this is an audience of mostly people that are older than me. And so I just like, do you feel like at points I identified really strongly with these 20-somethings, but then I also identified with these other characters, and I was wondering, do you think you made a nuanced version of these tropes that our society creates about millennials and older people, or do you think that you like sort of put people in boxes because it was easier for people to relate to?
How did you feel?
I felt like I identified too much with Adam Driver's character, and that like made me dislike myself.
Well, the truth is, I identify with him also. You know, I mean, because I don't know, because people always sort of, I get asked the sort of autobiographical questions on every movie I make, but because people assume because I'm closer to Ben's age, I'm that character, but I'm much more ambitious and productive than he is, and in that way, and I will devour you. If I'm working on something, I will take any funny line, you know, hurt people, I probably stole from somebody, you know. I will take and take because that's what works for what I'm working on, and I really understand that kind of approach to things. So in that way, I feel like Adam too. And I also feel like in the movie, Ben puts way more on Adam than any human being could ever deliver on. You know, I mean, the whole joke of it for me in a way was that, you know, Ben's this sort of thriller that's sort of maybe lying asleep during most of the movie comes alive for about 6 minutes, you know, when Ben's like, blow it up, you know, he's gonna like go after it. And it all comes crashing down because, you know, nobody cares and nobody, you know, Ben's quest is quixotic. He's going the wrong direction to ultimately maybe come the right direction. And so that's not the 20-something's fault, and you know, we shouldn't blame them for that. That's just, you know, his sort of folly. So I don't take sides on it, and I really don't feel like this is like and I hope you don't too, I mean, feel it's you know, I'm not slamming this younger generation. I feel like, you know, when I feel I'm on both sides, which is maybe a cop-out.
Thank you.
How many of you out there would say you're millennials? I know. How many of you would say you're more of sort of the Ben and Naomi Watts generation? It's kind of a good split. How many of you are the Charles Grodin? I loved seeing Charles Grodin in this, by the way. All right, next question.